Hello everyone, in this video we'll go over the Vocabulary Workshop Level Green Unit 8 words. You can follow along at home using your book. Let's get started. Our first word is ancient. Ancient is an adjective and it means very old or early in history. For example, the fossil remains are ancient. In this sentence, fossil is talking about maybe the bones of an animal that lived a long time ago, like a dinosaur. So of course, we can describe these fossils as being ancient, as being very old. Some synonyms are antique and old-fashioned. The antonyms are new and recent. Some other things we can describe as ancient is really old architecture like the Colosseum or the pyramids in Egypt. We can say the pyramids are ancient. Since ancient is an adjective, we can use it to describe any noun. So not only things, but also people can be described as ancient. For example, I can say the ancient Romans built the Colosseum. So in that sentence, we're using ancient to describe the people that lived a long time ago, back earlier in history. Our next word is climate. Climate is a noun and it's the usual weather conditions of a place. For example, I don't like the moist, hot climate. Some synonyms are atmosphere, environment, and temperature. There are no antonyms for this word. So when we use this word climate, we're talking about the weather that you can see somewhere most of the year. If you look at this map, there's different colors that show the different climates on planet Earth. For example, here in the middle, this is called the tropical zone. In this area, the climate is usually hot and warm. So I can say in South America, the climate is hot. So I'm talking about the normal weather there. And some areas that are closer up here to the top are very cold. So I can say, I don't like living in places where the climate is cold. These are some words we can use to describe the climate of a place. And of course, we can also talk about different weather events that happen like fires or hurricanes or floods. For example, I can say, hot and dry climates can cause wildfires in the summer. Or another example would be, hurricanes happen in warm tropical climates near the ocean. How would you describe the climate where you live? Our next word is cling. Cling is a verb, so it's an action word, and it means to hold on firmly. Firmly means in a strong way. So you are not letting go, you're holding on in a strong way. Or it means to have a strong attachment to or feelings for something or someone. For example, as a child, I used to cling to my mother. As you can imagine, a child always loves their mother very much, so they have a strong attachment. They have strong feelings for that person. So they cling. They want to be next to and holding on to that person. You can see here in the video of the polar bear, the little bear cub is clinging on to its mother. We can also use cling to talk about things that you really like to hold on to. For example, this boy clings on to his teddy bear while he sleeps because he probably loves that teddy bear. He has strong feelings for that teddy bear. Some synonyms are stick, attach, grasp, and antonym is release. Is there something or someone that you cling on to? Our next word is custom. Custom is a noun and it is a common practice, so something that you do often. Or the way people do things year after year. For example, Eating turkey is a custom celebrated by many people on Thanksgiving. During Thanksgiving, the custom of eating a turkey is something that people do. They do it every year. They eat a turkey on Thanksgiving, so we can call it a custom. The same is true for holidays like Christmas or even Chuseok. There are things that we do every single year, so we can describe those as customs, or maybe you've heard about it as a tradition. So tradition is one of the synonyms for this word, and habit is also another synonym. There are no antonyms for this word. Since a custom is also a common practice, something that you do often, we can also use it to describe things like saying thank you. For example, I can say, it's a custom to say thank you when someone helps you. Or in some countries, it is a custom to bow instead of shaking hands. Are there any customs that you do? Our next word is decay. Decay can be used in two different ways. We can use it as a noun and we can also use it as a verb. First, for the noun, it means the slow decline of something. So decline means it is getting worse. Or it's also a wearing away. Wearing away means something is falling apart. For example, go to the dentist twice a year to avoid tooth decay. This word is often used to describe this problem that people can have with their teeth called tooth decay. So you can see here, the tooth is declining. It's getting worse. It turned black, it's falling apart, it's breaking. So we can call that tooth decay. One synonym is weakening, and there is no antonym for this word. Another example would be, the old apple had decay on its skin because it was left out for too long. So remember, we are using decay as a noun. It's a thing that you can actually see. I can see the decay on the apple. I can see the decay on the tooth. But we can also use decay as a verb. It means to slowly decline or fall into ruin. So again, decline means to become worse. Something is becoming worse. And now we're using it as a verb, so I can change decay and add ing to it to say something is decaying. Let's look at the example. It says, the salt water caused the dock to decay. So now we're not talking about seeing decay, we're talking about the action. Something made something happen. In this sentence, the salt water caused this dock here, where the boats come, to decay. It caused it to become worse. I can also say, there is some decaying fruit in the bowl. Or, if you leave your Halloween pumpkins outside for too long, they will decay. Some synonyms are rot, spoil, decompose, and disintegrate. All of these words here basically mean that something is getting worse. It's falling apart. Antonyms are flourish, bloom, and thrive. Have you ever opened your refrigerator and found something decaying inside of the refrigerator? I hope I never do, because it would smell so bad. Our next word is disturb. Disturb is a verb and it means to make upset or uneasy. Another way you can remember it is just as to bother someone, or a good one is interrupt. The example says, we tried not to disturb their sleep. So in this sentence, someone is trying to not bother someone, that way they don't wake up. If you look at this video here, you can see the dog is disturbing his owner's sleep. So he's bothering the owner a lot, probably making him upset or making him feel uneasy. Some synonyms are interrupt, stop, disrupt, and alarm. Antonyms are calm and soothe. A lot of times people talk about not wanting to have their sleep disturbed. Sometimes if there's a bright light outside of your bedroom window, that can disturb your sleep. Or have you ever been to a hotel and seen these signs that you can put on the door? They usually say, "Please do not disturb." And when you put those signs up, it means that people should not knock on your door or come inside to clean the room. They don't want to disturb you. They don't want to bother you. Disturb is not only used to talk about sleep, it can be used to talk about anything that you're doing and then someone bothers you or they interrupt what you're doing. Has anyone ever disturbed you when you were doing something? Our next word is expose. Expose is a verb and it means to uncover or open to view, or to make something known. For example, I promise not to expose their secrets. So remember, expose means you are making something known. You are telling something to other people. So in this sentence, someone promised not to tell their secrets. Some synonyms are show, reveal, disclose, or display. And antonyms are cover, hide, disguise, or mask. If you look at this video here, you can see that there is a man that is dressed up like a ghost. And this other man is exposing him. He's telling the truth that it's not really a ghost, it's actually just a man pretending to be a ghost. In this picture here, you can see the woman with this red hair exposed the other woman. She showed that she was sleeping. Maybe this woman here is supposed to be doing her work, but she's sleeping instead. So we can say she exposed the sleeping woman. I can also say if you expose your skin to the sun for too long, you might get a sunburn. So remember, expose means you are showing something, you are revealing something, you are making something known, you're telling other people about it. Our next word is perform. Perform is a verb and it means to carry out a task, to act or entertain. We often use this word perform to talk about this definition here, where someone is entertaining an audience or a group of people. Think about some children doing a play for their parents, or maybe a ballerina show, or a concert where your favorite singer is performing. The sample sentence says, "We were asked to perform the play on Wednesday." So in this sentence, we're using perform to talk about the act of entertaining. Some synonyms are sing, dance, and achieve, fulfill, do, or function. There are no antonyms for this word. The other meaning of perform, to carry out a task, basically means that you are able to do something. You're able to function. For example, I can say, he performed well on his test because he studied. So it means that he did well. He did the thing, he fulfilled it, he completed the thing that he was supposed to do. That is perform. Or I can say, I did not perform well on my test because I couldn't sleep last night. So we can use this word perform to talk about shows or to talk about actions that you do, usually related to your school or to your work. Our next word is remote. Remote is an adjective and it means far removed in distance or time, or out of the way, unlikely, or very slight. Let's talk about this first part here. Something that is far in distance or time. So it's something that's very far away. It's not easy to get there. For example, we drove to a remote cabin in the woods. You can see this picture here. There's a cabin in the woods, and to get to this cabin, maybe you have to go a long distance or it takes a long time. So we can say it is a remote cabin. The same is true for this picture here. You can see there is a little house, but there's nothing else nearby. Maybe it's on a farm. So I can say he lives in a remote area on a farm. It's a very far away place. We can also describe places like Antarctica as remote because they are very out of the way. It's very difficult to get there. The same is true about a temple on a mountain. Maybe it's not far away from a city, but to get up to this temple, you have to hike the mountain, and that might take a long time. So I can describe it as a remote temple. Some synonyms are far away, distant, and secluded. Antonyms are near, nearby, or open. And the second part of the definition, unlikely or very slight, it means that you are probably not going to do something. For example, I can say, there is a remote chance that I will visit Antarctica. So in that sentence, I'm saying I'm probably not going to do it. We often use this word remote together with the word chance to say that we're probably not going to do something. I can also say there's a remote chance that I will travel to the moon. Are there any remote places on planet Earth or maybe in our solar system that you wish you could travel to? Our last word is timid. Timid is an adjective and it means lacking courage or confidence. So someone who is timid is very shy, or they might not be confident. They might think something is more difficult than it really is, so they don't want to do it. Let's look at the example. I was too timid to talk to the new teacher. This happens a lot when there is a new school year and a new teacher. There's a lot of students that are very shy, so they are too timid to do something, to talk to the teacher, or maybe they're too timid to do a speech in front of their classmates. I can also use timid to describe maybe a baby kitten that is a little bit shy and doesn't want to come out to play. So I can say the timid kitten was hiding behind the wall. Some synonyms are cautious, shy, or meek. And antonyms are bold, brash, daring, determined, and confident. Is there a time where you were a little bit timid about doing something? And that's all for this video. We went over the Vocabulary Workshop Level Green Unit 8 words. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye!